Robert Raikes is a well-known name in Gloucester. He was a Christian businessman and philanthropist, and he was most famous for pioneering the Sunday school movement. My guide Rita Appley from Mary de Crypt Church takes up the story.
Robert Raikes was born in 1736 in the city of Gloucester. His father, also Robert Raikes, had started the Gloucester Journal in 1722. They visited the prisoners in Gloucester Prison. It was part of the old castle and in a ruinous state, and more prisoners died from illness than were actually hanged. And as we know, a lot of prisoners were hanged in those days. By this time, Robert Raikes Sr. had died, and Robert Raikes Jr. took over as editor of the paper. And in 1780, he was appalled to find ragged children running riot in the city. When he asked about them, he found that they worked 6 days a week in the local factories, very long hours, up to 12 hours a day, for only a pittance, perhaps half a penny a day. And he thought, well, if he could give these children some education, they would be able to get better jobs than their parents and hopefully keep them out of prison. Because from his prison visits, he'd realised that a lot of the prisoners had come from very poor families. So with his friend Thomas Stock from St John's in Northgate Street, he set about establishing Sunday schools here in Gloucester. At first there were two ladies, Mrs King and a Mrs Meredith from St Catherine's, who educated the children in their own homes. There was another school established here on the corner of Greyfriars. The purpose of the schools was to educate the children, to learn to read and write and simple arithmetic. But not everybody approved, and they particularly didn't like the children being taught arithmetic, so that was dropped and only reading and writing.
The original schedule for the schools, as written by Raikes, was the children were to come after 10 in the morning and stay till 12. They were then to go home and return at 1, and after reading a lesson they were to be conducted to church. After church, they were to be employed in repeating the catechism till after 5, and then dismissed, with an injunction to go home without making a noise.
Robert Raikes' wife was famous for her plum cake, and as a reward, if the children did very well, they were given a piece of plum cake. The building opposite, the Robert Raikes pub, is where the Robert Raikes family lived, and for a while also the paper was printed there. So the paper was very important in the story of Robert Raikes and Sunday schools because, rather like Twitter and Facebook today, it publicised the movement of Sunday schools.
Within 2 years, several schools opened in and around Gloucester. His work was so successful that he could record in the Gloucester Journal on the 3rd of November 1783 that the district of Gloucester had become quite a heaven upon Sundays. Later, word of the work spread through the Gentleman's Magazine, and in 1784 a letter to the Armenian Magazine. The Sunday school movement spread rapidly to all parts of the country. In 1785, the Sunday School Society was formed. The Sunday School Union was formed in 1803, was a direct result of Raikes' work. Adam Smith, a Scottish economist and moral philosopher, gave the movement his strongest commendation. He said, "No plan has promised to effect the change of manners with equal ease and simplicity since the days of the Apostles."
There is a memorial to Robert Raikes in London on the embankment near Charing Cross, commemorating the first 100 years of Sunday schools.
His Sunday schools were the first move towards a state education system in Great Britain, and by 1831, 1.25 million children were receiving education thanks to the work of Robert Raikes. Robert Raikes died on the 5th of April 1811.